Well, we knew there'd be some changes, some surprises. Certainly, we didn't know exactly what to expect, and we haven't seen the data to support how the lines were drawn, and so that's going to be an important part to get to the understanding of it. I mean, you've seen quite a few changes, and so you just want to know what the thought process was in making those changes. So that's what I'll be interested in seeing next.
So what are some of the bigger changes and what were the changes for you?
Well, I had 5 full counties of representation plus parts of 2. This time I'll have, the only constant I have is Adams County. And then I have, and part of Hancock, but now I have all of Hancock. So I have 3 full counties and part of Warren County now. So that, really, I mean, that is quite a flip-flop, actually. So I had a feeling it might change in the last 10 years. Our area has kind of moved back and forth one way or another in that regard. So it wasn't unexpected to me. It just... It was a change, and you just will, at least I feel grateful for not having to run against a colleague, for being in the same Senate district as one of my House colleagues. So I'm far more fortunate in that regard. So I can't complain to look at my map, and when I look at others that have had a lot of uncertainty and change.
How might that impact you now that I guess you said it was a big switch? Why is that a big switch, and how will it impact you?
Well, the geographics of it don't really change. I mean, it's West Central Illinois, and we're regional rather than a small locale because it's such vast population sparsely throughout the state, downstate. So really, geographically, I've covered those areas when I worked for the Attorney General. I went to court in those very same counties. So to me, it's not that much of a change. It's just a shift. So really, for someone like myself, there's not much of a change. It's a very good, solid base of conservative Western Illinoisans that I'll represent. And so, I'm very fortunate in that regard because I understand their issues. I live among them, have lived among them for over 30 years, and that's still the case.
Do you think that might work out in your favor then? Is it a favorable?
Yes, I can't, yes, I would. I mean, because like I say, it may be a little different 40 miles one way rather than south, but it's definitely the people I've worked with and lived with for the last 30 years of my life.
And also, you said on the Senate side, some people were not so lucky. What can you say about your senators and how that?
Well, like I say, downstate, I share a Senator John Sullivan with Noreen Hammond's district, and so basically, it's very much the same territory.
Do you think is it the same case as Senator Luchtefeld, where he's being forced to run against Senator McCarthy?
Well, no. Like I say, I mean, mine's one of the fortunate, amiable scenarios as opposed to much of the others. That's why, in my case, very little in my way that I've represented the people in my district or the way I've campaigned or the way that we run constituent. I don't see any major changes. It's just that we'll have to adjust what the zip code base is of who I represent.
What do you think? Why do you think that you were, I guess, left?
Well, I mean, like I say, when you look at it, it changed. I mean, just downstate, the huge geographic portions of these districts, there's very little that you can do to capture a population like you need. So that's really it. In a nutshell, that's, I think, what happens. The senators' main county stayed the same, and he had to pick up 6,000 to 8,000 in population.